So, welcome to the World Domination episode of the Week to Warrior podcast. This is a very special episode that I've been planning for a long time. I'm going to get my water quickly because he's getting his beverage. Okay, so the basic premise of this is, there's so much going on. I want to give my mind a chance to present what it believes to be the most useful and relevant. Yeah, don't knock it. It'll fall over. So the most useful and relevant. There's no picture of it.
You have nail clippers down here.
I don't.
You have no nail clippers?
Nope.
Or you stash those things?
No, I don't.
Keep going.
So I'm thinking, like, what's gonna stop my company? You know, this is always how I think. Like, what's gonna stop me? Because there's always things that try to stop you in life. Like, it's just the fact of the matter that if you've got plans and ambitions and goals and dreams, someone's going to try to stop you from doing that because they're going to want those goals, ambitions, and dreams for themselves. They are going to want to... It's like if you watch Shark Tank, like how many companies do you see on Shark Tank who they grow, they get big, they get popular, they make it to $1 million, $2 million, many millions of dollars a year in sales. And then they simply get out-competed, bought out. There's a mechanism that sits and waits for... And I'm just going to speak as the thoughts come. So if they don't make sense, leave a comment below and I'll explain, because I'm not really trying to make sense to you. I'm trying to make sense to future generations who are going to understand a lot more. Like, this video is not for you right now. If you're watching this before the year 2030, this video isn't for you. This video is for people after the year 2030. So if you want to just sign off now and leave and not come back till 2030, do that. That would make a lot more sense. But if you're tenacious and you think that you can understand things, then try to stick with this and follow along, because I'm not going to dumb myself down. It's the whole purpose of this company is to not dumb myself down. It's the whole purpose of why I have to plan world domination is because I don't want to dumb myself down. Because if I dumb myself down, then I'll die from the disease they're calling fatal insomnia, because there's plenty of stupidity around, and stupidity hasn't saved me. So without getting too into that, like, I need intelligent, valid thoughts to survive. And so do you, and if you haven't realized that yet, it's because you're an idiot. But don't worry, keep watching and you'll be less of an idiot. It's another purpose of why I'm doing all this. So why would people stop me? Well, people are obviously going to stop you. I mean, if you don't wonder... Wait, don't leave that on the kids' plaything. Okay. If you don't wonder why people would try to stop you, you think I'm ridiculous, then I think that you are a very silly person who probably hasn't really interacted with people hardly ever, because that's exactly how people are. People are like crabs in a bucket. They don't want other people to be more successful than them. Not really. And they will do quite a bit in order to make that happen. Like, so here's an example, and like, Lynn, if you're watching this, you should have reacted better. When I first made my first bottle of supplements, a family friend that I have known since I was 7 came over the house, and I showed her a bottle of the supplements. And I was like, yeah, they're sleep supplements to help people. And she was like, oh, sleep supplements to help people. Like, it was just the most obnoxious, ridiculous crap that you've ever seen. And in that moment, I saw this woman's complete and utter desire for me to never exceed her son, so that she would never have to question whether or not she was a good parent. It was disgusting. Really, Lynn, like, if you're watching this, what happened? It's weird. Like, why? It's not just you, Lynn. It's like everyone. Like, Lynn, I'm gonna speak to Lynn directly if she's ever watching this. Lynn, like, do you know what I've suffered? Do you care? Have you ever asked me? Do you know who I've helped? Do you even care? Have you ever asked me? Do you know what I'm working on? Do you even care? Have you ever asked me? Do you know who my supplements have helped? Do you even care? Have you ever asked me? Do you know how hard it was to get my parents to believe in me? Do you even care? Have you ever asked me? No. You would condemn me to death from sheer apathy because you'd rather drink your beer at night and not ask hard questions than think a simple thought about a man who spent most of his life being kind to your son. And that's people. I think she's even better than the rest of you. Because y'all have never showed me that you're capable of anything, and she's at least raised a kid who's pretty effing decent. So given that that's the world, why wouldn't I need to conquer it?
Well, the sad fact is, I don't think people have actually thought enough about their own, why they act the way they act to realize the underlying insights on why it is they act that way. So, even for her, I don't think she's realized, well, what is the logical conclusion of why it acted like that?
Not even that. It's just like, I'm like 2 years older than her son. Wouldn't you just want to encourage me and be like kind of like, oh wow, you actually like made this supplement that is like an actual like you went and made this thing available for mass consumption for other people, and now you're showing it to me. And instead, she wanted to act like I was basically a drug dealer or something. It was just like, oh, like it was literally like, oh, sleep supplements to like alluding like I'm like selling drugs or something. Like it's just. There's like, no, it's like, they're good. Like, oh, they're really good. Like, I then later had to have a conversation with my mother because she takes that, like, and like people know this on a subconscious level. Like, this is why all of our ancestors left the European continent and got on bundles of sticks to sail across chaos and carnage to fight nature for survival. Just leave it. It's okay. It's a little unbalanced. I'm a little unbalanced.
Yeah, no.
But that's why I move. If I was completely balanced, then I wouldn't move. That's how movement works. I stand balanced, then I unbalance myself and I shift.
Yeah.
So anyway, and that's what this is. This is a shift. So that's why I'm not upset if the camera's a little unbalanced. But it's like, okay, so people don't understand. So you were talking earlier, and like, I was saying this when you were out of the room. I don't want to try to make this comprehensible to the people watching this. This video is for people in 2030, and I've already instructed anyone who isn't tenacious enough to put the work in to understand what the hell we're talking about to not watch this until 2030. So I'm not going to like overly explain because I don't think that that's where the genius of the idea comes. I think the genius of the idea comes when you think about it and you can't figure out a flaw. And then you start putting things together and realizing what I've already realized but can't communicate because there isn't enough time in the day to put all this in a YouTube video no matter how long it was, which is why the company is going to work. Like if I could tell you how to beat me or what I'm doing in a YouTube video, then I wouldn't have a company. That's why I'm literally just stand here and I try to tell people how to beat me. Do the same thing in jiu-jitsu. I just try to tell you how to beat me. It won't work. Because I've been doing that for decades, but like, it's what I do.
I mean, I coach wrestling right now for my high school, and I'll go there and I'll tell the kids exactly, this is how you stop someone from getting legs on you. This is how you prevent it. This is what you need to be watching out for. And then I'm just going to put my legs on them and pin them anyways. Because it's like, yeah, like, in order to stop legs from coming in, you need to keep your arms down the side. You need to make sure I can't lock up one of your elbows or your hand above your head. But like, good fucking luck with that, because I have a couple, like 100 to maybe 1,000 hours of practice getting into those little crooks and spaces. Like, you can know what I'm doing. You can know exactly how I've told you to stop me. But at the same time, I have way more practice getting into those spaces than you have practice not. allowing people into them.
And
So,
this is even the crux of and if I'm cutting you off midpoint, just keep talking over me and I'll stop because I
was going to say earlier that how we're doing this kind of reminds me of the parables in the Bible and how like you can't really necessarily understand it, and when you do understand it, you understand it at a certain level, which is why you can keep rereading it, because once you go to different levels of consciousness, things take on different levels of meaning.
It's like Jordan Peterson said this, and this is one thing I really like. There's a modern malaise that has fallen over the mind, and I speak of it as someone who has succumbed to it himself, though not fully, and then worked his way out of it. Probably many times. So,
The driving state?
Jordan Peterson's, it's this state of, I call it Orientalism. I call it internal Orientalism.
Explain.
Basically, you just start thinking that if the ideas you have were such good ideas, then other people would have done them already, and then it's just this sort of like it's it's the lowest state you can be in while still functioning in a society.
I mean, there's that state, and then there's also the state of if this was good, why hasn't someone already bought it? And I kind of noticed this myself because there's a car. My car is like I've put over 200,000 miles on it.
But let's just end with the if it was good, someone would have already bought it.
Like,
you don't need to explain that.
Seconds.
There's other things we're gonna need to explain though.
But like, there's a car that I'm looking at for sale. Amazing, low mileage, really good. Went on vacation, got trapped in Panama, passport stolen. Eventually got back to the States. It's still available for sale, and it's still a good car. But now I'm thinking, it's been available for the past 3 weeks now. Is there something wrong with it?
So that is internal Orientalism, because what he's doing is he's trusting in the perceptions of the outside world over his own perceptions, which is the essence of Orientalism.
Well, at the same time, I don't have much.
But no, I'm getting to a point, though. I'm getting to a point. This is all just a giant point I'm getting to. So basically, there's this internal Orientalism, blah, 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 blah. Oh, the malaise. Okay, so Jordan Peterson. So he said something. He said that if a video did not contain more information than could be articulated in the video, you wouldn't watch it. And the same is true for a book. Like, if you, and the logical conclusion of that is, if you're actually aware of what you're doing, you're not doing much. So therefore, the state of maximum productivity is not a state of maximum self-reflection. It is a state of maximum engagement of the most resources.
Yeah, it's a flow state when you're out of your head and into the work, and you don't even actually understand how, like, I don't know, especially for coding, I got there and like you'll do something amazing and you'll write something, and then the next day you go back to look at it and you're like, holy shit, what the hell is this? And it takes you like 2 or 3 hours to even understand what the hell you wrote.
Yeah, I had that with jiu-jitsu, where like I created a way of training jiu-jitsu that was so effing brilliant that I just beat like everyone during COVID. Not literally everyone, but I beat everyone that I rolled with during COVID, which is a lot of people. I just go around, and I kind of fell off. But it took me 3 years to reinvigorate that system.
That's why I teach you
3 years. 3 fucking years. I was like, why isn't this working? Like, I couldn't figure it out because it wasn't something that I had to understand with my mind. It was something I had to understand with the mind that is 90% of our neurons are beneath our neck. So 90% of our brain is action. And that is the mechanism I use to understand this. And in a broader sense, there's a symbiotic feedback loop between a human being's habits and his environment, such that your environment is really the database for the information that precipitates your habits. So therefore, if you remove someone from their environment, put them in a new environment, this is, again, I had this other thought the other day, like,
well, I like saying,
no, like high school students, like if you wanted to make slaves, there's like no better way to do it than get kids. You do it like multiple stages. So middle school, you take kids away from the kids they grew up with and put them in a completely new environment. And then in college, you do it again. And the reason for that is that people think through their social groups. So by continuously disrupting social groups and forcing people into new situations that require different things from them, you're making them slaves. Because a slave is someone who can't depend on other people, can't depend on consistency, has to just become this like thing that what I just described makes you. But this video isn't even about that. This video is purely about the fact that or it's not purely, but it's about the fact that, like, people don't want people to succeed. Like, we've reached this stage in American society where everyone is an unconscious dickhead who embodies the literal manifestation of precisely the worst aspects of the reasons that their ancestors left to come here. And COVID is my final proof of that. Not that I needed one, but if you needed a final maximum proof, just look at the COVID shit. Look at the fiat currency, which, oh, by the way, is an Oriental system. It's just ridiculous. So people don't really care about you succeeding. They don't even believe success is possible. They throw their own parents in nursing homes. They throw their kids in daycares. They drink alcohol whenever the thought that this might be happening begins to occur to them. And, they show no way of stopping. You say, oh, what's the end result of this? The end result is we create a society so unconscious that people start dying from mysterious illnesses all the time, and no one knows why. And then the other half of the population has mysterious behavioral problems that no one can explain. And, oh, let's just keep taking drugs and ignoring this because there's no way that won't make it worse. While the abortion rate voluntary murder of your own children is the greatest killer of people.
Yeah, so what I was going to say is people loving the fall of stuff. There's this YouTube channel, Lusitania, or Louaista, and it has like 1.6 million subscribers. And it's literally just talking about like the fall of Lil Nas, the fall of this person, the fall of this person.
That's Orientalism. We're obsessed with
the fall of, like, hell, for a while, it's like the fall of Jake Paul, the fall of this. It's like, how dare he, like, try to go from being a no one to being someone, and now you gotta watch how he fails, showing that, like, you were failed anyways, but, like.
So that brings us to today, and why am I making the World Domination podcast right now? The reason I'm making the World Domination podcast right now is because I already know what y'all are like. Like, I already know what y'all are like. I do. I really do. And leave me some questions and I'll respond to the good ones if you want to see how much I really know what they're like.
If they made this far into the video, they probably a little bit conscious of it and at least trying to improve.
Or I think a lot of people who watch my videos, I've seen a lot of people watching all my videos, they don't even know what to make of them. Like, they'll just watch the entire video and they're in like a stupor. And then they go watch another one, Then they leave some comment where they're like, oh my God, like, my mind is being opened. Like, this is crazy. And it's like, or like they kind of say something tentatively and it's like, people look at what we're doing on YouTube like the monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey. And that's why this is the World Domination episode. It's like, you're going to look at this, you're like, is this guy taking over the world from YouTube and just telling everyone about it, exactly how he's doing it? Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking over the world from my smartphone using YouTube, and I'm going to tell everyone how I'm doing it. And here's the thing. It's like getting the legs in wrestling. I do the same thing. I tell everyone how I do everything. Why? Because now I have infinite practice imposing my will on people who know exactly how I'm going to do it. Good luck, buddy. Like, good luck. Like, how do you think I got so good?
Oh, yeah. I mean, because if you don't do it, then you have this move system, and you're like, okay, oh my God, I can't let this person see me hit my best moves at this tournament, or else they're going to know I'm going to hit on them. Or I can't, like, let videos of me get out where people see me and how my system operates. It's like, because that's something in wrestling. Like,
so exactly. I want to add on to this now. I want to build onto this. So we can keep building on each other, though. We can keep building. So we got to keep building. So this is the same thing with the internet. So you have to say, what does that have to do with the internet? Well, the internet and wrestling are both models of the human psyche, and the internet follows the same trends. So there's the coaching trend, and everyone was like, had these courses they were selling and stuff. It's like, oh, I can't let my course information get out. And now what's everyone doing? Everyone is now doing more authentic style content while putting out their what was previously their course for free. The people who aren't doing that are just way behind. And then in addition to that, the next stage is people are like, then there's like supplement companies. Oh, maybe we should get into manufacturing. And then after that, it's like, oh, maybe we just need media production. We need media production so people can be aware of what we're manufacturing. And then once you have media production, oh, I need a team of people in order to really scale this. And then once you have the team of people, I need to create a company culture. And then, okay, you see, and then after you do all that, you're like, oh, I need to like have kids so they can keep this going. My wife just gave birth last night. It's perfect timing. I was explaining world domination to the midwife, and she thought it made perfect sense. And it was actually the midwife's friend. I already explained this to the midwife.
Well, you can't have a successful company unless the people working for you know what you're doing. And if you're not good at explaining what you're doing, or you're too worried that telling them what you're going to do is going to have them go off on their own and start their own thing and compete with you, then your company's basically doomed to fail anyways because of the culture you're creating.
Most companies get outcompeted by former employees. So basically, yeah, I mean that's the basic thing. So the internet's all realizing that now.
Yeah, go on my website, check out my warrior supplements. I'm leaving the whole tour. I'm
creating my warrior. He does it on this one, just leaves me. I've even created contingencies for that. I don't think that would happen. That would actually mess up my plans. So you see, I thought this through so much. I can admit that would mess up my plans. But I thought it through so much that it wouldn't make my plans impossible. Because again, he would be going to advertise my ideas to the world. And I'm already the best at my ideas. So eventually he would run out of my ideas. And then my YouTube channel would I just keep going on YouTube. It doesn't know that.
It's kind of similar to Ford. Like he revolutionized the production line. He had his way of doing it, his way of looking at adding power into everything, and he would literally fly people in from other countries to study his methods to then go take that stuff to their countries because he's like, overall it helps the world, but also like now I can buy parts from them if they can make it for cheaper.
No, literally, and this is the thing. The real thing comes down to ultimately recruiting the youth in order to, okay, here's the real kicker. Well, what's the end goal of all of this? It literally is world domination. I mean, so we're already showing how company growth is dependent on hiring the right people and keeping them. And to me, that's just the same thing as the military. Like, you got to have competent generals, and whoever has the most competent generals wins the war. And you get those competent generals by recruiting the people in the youth, and that's why we force everyone into a school system. Like, the school system is the mechanism by which they prevent this from happening. Like, someone fucked up for me to be here. Many people fucked up many times for me to be here, because if we lived in a sane society, I would have been picked up by brilliant, capable people who would have put my talents to good use, and then I would have spent my life making $400,000 and never having more ambition than that. But the system is so broken that even me going out to all of the people who should be the brilliant people, capable of recognizing brilliance, they can't. I mean, the only person I think Elon Musk would recognize what I'm doing.
Plus also
because Elon Musk doesn't care. No, it's not even the health though. Because I went to the doctors, and the doctors are they're so stupid, they can't even see reality in front of them. No, so it's not that my health is bad, it's that the system that produces everyone's health is bad, and a lot of people's income depends on it staying bad.
Oh yeah.
So that's why. Again, it's nothing to do with
the charity set up in LA. I was watching a podcast on this and how the whole homelessness there, like the companies you're giving money to,
they're farming homeless people.
But the companies you give money to help the homelessness depend on the homelessness to continue getting money in order for those people to have jobs. So they're not actually incentivized to fix the homeless issue. They're incentivized to help the homeless issue to a degree that then allows them to get more funding to provide other help to the homeless. But if the homeless went away, then so would their companies.
And you think that that doesn't have its say. It does. So anyway, and the reason it has its say is like me with the insomnia stuff. But this is not about the insomnia stuff. If you're an awake human being, you can go on my channel and learn all about this. So I'm not talking about insomnia in this video. That's another thing too. Like I don't want to talk about insomnia for my entire life. I'm going to talk about it as much as I need to accomplish what I need to for myself and the others, and to kill the fucking insomnia demon. But like I'm not just going to freaking talk about it. Like again, evaluate these ideas independently of that. But the point is like the system, like, I don't need to tell you the system's failed. Like, if you don't know the system's failed, then you probably don't have the attention span to make it this far in this video in the first place. And again, the only reason people are watching me ranting with a stick here is because the system's failed. Like, if the system was working perfectly, there would be many more entertaining things for you to watch than this. Truly, I mean, like, truly, there would be many more entertaining things for you to watch than this, and there'd be a lot more productive things for you to do than watch this if the system is working perfectly, or even well. But the fact of the matter is, it isn't, and that has created the situation where I can get traction, and where I need to get traction. I don't even want to do any of this shit, but I have to, because the system can't help me, so I have to help myself, and then me helping myself pisses people off because they're fucking assholes. So now
if society functioned well and everyone was in good shape, no one would watch YouTubers talking about like health or fitness because like, oh, bro, we already know all this shit. Like
I'm gonna miss the soccer game that we're supposed to play in this afternoon.
It's like someone reading the dictionary for the YouTube channel. It's like, oh no, we know the dictionary. You can just look that shit up. Like everyone knows it. It's not like there's some complicated thing with the dictionary.
Yeah, exactly. So basically,
how to wipe your ass. Part 5.
Okay, I mean, you get some fetishists in there, and actually, there's a lot of gay men that watch my YouTube channel. I just noticed that.
Yeah, no more foot videos.
No, we're not doing foot videos. But the thing, this is even funny though. This is funny. Camille Paglia, in her book Sexual Personae, predicts that the homosexual man, through his obsession with the masculine ideal, will save civilization from unconsciousness. Because essentially, the homosexual is that's an interesting fucking book. That's a fucking interesting book. I'm like only on like page 30 and already like, holy shit. She's predicting all this stuff too. Like, again, everything I'm saying, go read The Rights of Man by Thomas Paine, Sexual Personae by Camille Paglia, Maps of Meaning by Jordan Peterson, Psychology and Alchemy by Carl Jung, like Thucydides, The History of the Peloponnesian War. Go read any of the books that people have bothered reproducing and see that I'm right. And it's like, well, if you're so right, then why is no one else? Because they're idiots. That's why I'm doing this. Because people are so fucking stupid that it is possible to tell them what is right in front of their face, to show them citations from many millennia of the works that their very school system they claim is so intelligent forces them to read, and then ask them to think about what it means, and they'll say no. So I'm going to take over the fucking world, because that's the only thing people are going to notice. And now, there's many reasons why this is going to work. So one of the thoughts you might think when I say I'm going to take over the world is, oh, well, they're going to stop you. No, they won't, because they're not paying attention. What's going to happen is first I've already been ridiculed, but first the ridicule's ending. As the ridicule ends, those people watching me will begin to copy me. They will copy my marketing. In their stupidity, and I know they're stupid, they're going to wake up. They will wake up. And the ones that really wake up, good for you, man. Right. All I want is more awake people, because more awake people prevents my life from, like, it makes the world better. And, like, there's a reason why I want you to be better, truly, and that reason is the secret to what will become why we take over the world.
With the ridicule, like, it goes away.
Wait, no, I'm almost done. I'm almost done with this point. So, basically, I just want a world where people are, like, healthy and not dying and shit. So, like, I can, like there was really, I'm gonna make a video about this, but there was a freaking sailing trip I wanted to take with my cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff when I was growing up. And that never happened. And let's just say that all this is because I'm still pissed about that. And then the insomnia issues are just the cherry on the cake. But we live in a seriously disordered world where if things were just better for everyone, then they'd be better for me personally. So that's great. So again, I'm not trying to like say, oh, like you watching this, you personally, like, okay, here's one thing I do. I separate people into classes based on attention by making long videos. So therefore, the videos that are longer, I speak to people who are inherently superior because of their superior attention. So I've immediately just divided the world simply by observing how human attention works. So if you're here, watch all my stuff. Like, again, this is sort of the thing. It's like, if you actually are capable of understanding this, I'm betting dollars to donuts that you're either going to be my ally or my employee. I don't think there's another way around it. Like, I don't think you can understand what I'm talking about and not support what I'm doing. I don't think it's possible. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why that I could get into that are beyond the scope of this video, but I do not think it is possible to fully understand what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it, which is what you need in order to stop me or compete with me. To reach the level where you could become a problem to me and not agree with me. I don't think that's possible, and that's sort of how I've constructed this thing, because I've realized that people are so shitty that that I have to build it that way. There's no other way. Like, if I don't make a system where at the moment you become a threat, you also become an ally, then I'm simply going to die because people suck. Like, look what happened to Jesus. So basically, and that's part of the point, too. The benefit of that is that when people understand to become my allies or employees, they then help me, and then eventually, I mean, one of the reasons I'm on YouTube is I'm recruiting the youth, because the youth is, like, you have to control the youth, or at least influence the youth if you want to have any power in this world, because the youth are who does all the fighting for everyone.
In the future.
Yeah, exactly. So again, if you're young, who do you want to... You're going to fight for someone. You want to fight for me, or do you want to fight for the people who don't tell you the truth? I tell you the truth. Here you go. You know, like, that's a basic proposition. That's another mechanism that helps me. The other benefit is, like, I need to share information that will piss off people in the medical field. Because that's why everyone's dying, because they don't know this shit. But if I go saying all this stuff, it just pisses people off. Like, I've never met a doctor who wasn't pissed off that I told him something he didn't know. And I've never met someone who, once being pissed off, got over it for the benefit of the human race. I met a lot of people who rationalized some absolutely atrocious behavior because their ego was offended. So anyway, why am I doing this? So why am I taking the taking over the world angle? Because if I just simply went the pure science route, they would discredit me. They would all get together and they would all try to discredit me. They would ignore my work. They would try to put pressure. The system would crush me. The system would crush me. The system would crush me if I tried to help you by telling the truth. The system's already tried to crush me by me helping myself. You can go watch my channel if you want to see that happen. So the system would definitely, now that I'm no longer trying to only survive and I'm actually trying to help other people, is the system that tried to kill me when I was merely trying to survive going to now become more understanding and empathetic after the COVID pandemic? Like fucking hell, I can read the writing on the wall. This is open warfare, and I'm gonna win. So how am I gonna win the open warfare? Well, I'm gonna win it by hiding in plain sight. I'm going to allow them to misunderstand me because they're already going to. If they understood me, they'd help me. That's not going to happen. They're not going to understand me. I've already accepted that. So now I'm going to force them to dismiss me. I'm going to call all of this. It's going to be great. You know, one way I say I'm going to take over the world is I'm going to make everyone in marketing talk about taking over the world. They're going to talk about taking over the world because I decided they would. Because in a spiritual sense, I already own the world. I already understand the sleep function, which is dying in our society more than anyone else. And, I mean, how much is the world worth to you if you can't sleep? So, I already own the world. I own the future. There is no future without me, because I'm telling you this. You'd be like, oh, there'll be another Devin Young. There won't be, because I already put the information out there that having that information would save people from having to become Devin Young. And Devin Young would have found that if it had existed. I have tested that to the absolute. And in that absolute knowledge, I have gained absolute clarity over a specific domain of human inquiry, which happens to be sleep. And in perfectly understanding the single most important thing for human health, I have perfectly understood humans. And in perfectly understanding humans, I have perfectly understood the world. And now you will see me use that understanding to do exactly what I've been telling everyone I'm going to do for the entire course of my career on YouTube. And when the next generation sees me doing that, and they see me saying I'm going to take over the world, and they see no one doing shit fuck about this, they're going to conclude that I must be right. Because I am. Up yours, woke moralists. You should have listened to me when I told you I wasn't sleeping. You've created your own undoing through stupidity. Your success has defeated you. You believed your systems were so successful that the very phenomenon that speaks to you would be impossible, such that you cannot listen even as these words hit your ears. And so I will tell you what will happen. What will happen is that those capable of listening will listen, and they will, in their eagerness, misinterpret what I'm doing. They will think, until they dedicate themselves to watching my long form, that I am merely using world domination as a gimmick to gain attention. And they will see it as working. And so they will copy me. And so I will hide in plain sight amidst a crowd of other people who are all claiming, much more aggressively than I, that they in fact will take over the world. And so my claims to world domination will be dismissed. And so I will seem like yet another marketer who's merely using trivial medical insight to start an irrelevant company, which he uses an easily understood gimmick to promote. This will continue until people actually start debating the ideas and merits of world domination to the point where they realize how world domination would even work. This is my basic thing. Y'all don't even realize how world domination works. Jacob Rothschild said, "I care not who sits in office as long as I control a country's currency." Okay, that's a novel idea on world domination. Well, I'll tell you, it's even more nuanced than that. But I've tried telling everyone about this my whole life and no one listens. So the only way I'm going to get people to pay attention is if I create a situation where there's a bunch of marketers getting rich by beating them over the head with the same understanding I tried to give them. And then once they've successfully done that, people will be like, okay, we've got to discredit these world domination types. And you know what? At that point, the world domination types will be consuming my arguments as to why it works. And you know what? You'll be debating me through other people who are already so invested in my ideas that they're watching all my videos to get the information to use to beat you. And once this is going, my videos dominate the algorithm. My ideas dominate the next generation of entrepreneurs. I'm already light years ahead developing things. This is basic. What I'm telling you now is basic. I already have shit that's so much more advanced than this, I can't even tell anyone because the door's the doors and wisdom let us attend. Like, so they say at the Orthodox Church before service starts. Like, there's an inner circle degree of these things. Like, I can't even tell people. I am telling you. Like, if you just watch my channel, it's all there. All of it. That's how I know that you'll never understand. Because I've already been telling you. I've tested this. This is empiricism. This is what empiricism looks like. That's why I'm so confident. So, I mentioned the algorithm, I mentioned the youth, I mentioned all of these things, I mentioned the progressive changes in human behavior that will take place as people begin to copy me, which has already started happening. Got any questions? What do you think the flaw is in this? Because, I mean, I think that there's so many things that go into it that, again, like, back to the doors, like, I can't even tell you, like, okay, at the point where everyone starts talking about the ideas in this podcast, I will already be implementing the third derivative of their logical conclusion. while thinking about something quite a few many steps down the line. Ideological revolutions precede scientific revolutions, and scientific revolutions precede actual revolutions. And as a genius whose principal gift is the ability to sit for incomprehensibly long amounts of time and think, who was then forced to be awake for years thinking about this problem. This is my advantage. And on this front, there is not one alive who can call himself my equal. If there is, come fucking hang out with me, buddy. We'll be good friends. But again, I think this is also a manifestation of, like, I don't even know why I'm like this. I think I'm just like this because my ancestors were the way they were, and then my parents raised me the way they did because of that in the environment my ancestors selected. So I think I'm really an expression of the collective unconscious. Because also, like, I need him to make these ideas work because, like, good luck killing both of us. I mean, that's part of, like, the incentive structure. It's like, this is a funny thing. Let's say someone was like, they hear all of this and they're like, I'm going to kill Devin. Fascinating idea. Let's say you're successful. You have to kill both of us because he really likes me. And he is like, I honestly, I think part of him would enjoy having the excuse necessary to literally turn the world into a dictatorial hellhole where he hunts down everyone he thinks of as wrong, which would be a lot of people because he's kind of autistic. I think it would be good for the world, but it's weird. Like, these things are baked into reality, so you have to kill us both. But I don't really think that even then, if you understand this, I don't think you're going to. Like, it's sort of like, and that's really like a lot of the whole world domination thing is I'm just creating space. I'm creating time. Right now, the only thing, I'll end on this and then you can share whatever else you have before I have more things to say. But basically, the only thing you could do to stop me right now as a company from being successful, this is the only thing you could do, because I basically planned on my company failing. I basically said, my company is going to fail, so I'm going to make it fail in the most hilarious and useful way possible. My company is going to fail because people are going to realize what I'm doing and they're going to try to make me successful in order to prevent my success. How does that work? I've set things up in such a way that I benefit more from people not paying attention to me than I do from them paying attention to me. Why is that? Well, because they weren't paying attention, so I'm just going to use this shit. So if people start paying attention to me, you give me the attention I need to make this happen. The only thing, if you don't pay attention to me, then, I mean, I already have attention, so, like, good luck with that. If you don't pay attention to me, you're just leaving yourself behind. But let's say people decide to not pay attention. Let's say I never get more than 758 subscribers to my YouTube channel and 4 subscribers on my other YouTube channel, and he never has more than the few thousand subscribers he has. How many subscribers do you have?
3,964.
So he never gets more than that. Let's say we never got more than the number of subscribers we had. Well, then we would just grow other ways. And we would continue posting this exact type of content on YouTube until eventually our audience, which we already have, became like, people are weird. So, like, at some point in the future, someone's going to be like, okay, I saw this weird guy on YouTube, Devin Young, and he was talking about this, and they're going to show someone. And what happens at the point where where someone shows someone else my channel purely for the fact that it is weird and novel is what determines what happens to the company. Because at that point, people have such a simplistic idea of how information moves throughout complex systems that's another problem that I'm taking advantage of. But basically, if right now, like, let's say tomorrow, I was on Fox News, and then the next day I was on Global News, that would be bad, because I don't have the current ability to fulfill that. I don't have fulfillment for that. My logistics are not there. So therefore, everyone would become aware of my ideas, they'd become aware of the threat my ideas pose, and I'd be incapable of taking advantage of that awareness, which would essentially nerf my first mover advantage and enable people incredibly hostile to my ideas to become aware of me in a way that would enable them. Like, someone could just go on YouTube and just literally, like, people could just go. I'm convinced that people could literally just digitally delete me, my family, my support networks and stuff in such a way that would sort of like if you were powerful enough and creative enough, you could stop me. You could right now, but you won't. Why? Well, you won't perceive me as a threat. You probably aren't even aware that I exist, and that's it. Yeah, you just don't perceive me as a threat, and you're not aware that I exist. So you're not going to stop me.
But you're not really even a threat because...
Oh, I am. No, I've already passed that
but
point.
Like, all the things that you're saying about will bring about a better world to live in. So it's not really even...
Yeah, but if you're a 70-year-old pedophile who, like, it's all incentive structures. So it's like if you're a 70-year-old pedophile who's got no kids, who doesn't care about his kids, and you just want to keep being a pedophile, and you're like...
Go to Africa.
No, I know. This is what I'm saying. Like, I think that the only people who would actually want to kill me are bankers manipulating the pharmaceutical industry. I think bankers manipulating the pharmaceutical industry would actually want to kill me because bankers want predictable returns and they don't care to understand science. Yeah, and I don't think they're even that invested in helping people. That's really
short-sighted because those bankers are going to develop health issues because of the degree they focus on...
No, I realize this, but
neglect their health because a lot of people, a lot of people.
I'm not going to bet on human beings not being short-sighted, though. Like, I'm not going to
bet.
I'm going to bet that they're going to be so short-sighted that the second they see one of my videos, they'll watch 5 seconds of it, and then just order my assassination because they feel shameful for what they hired prostitutes to do last night, and having me assassinated will make them feel more like a man. Yeah, that's my assessment. So basically, yeah, I mean, that's, I think, the only thing that could really stop this. Because, again, this is simply predicated on me actually fixing my sleep problems, which I'm not even going to tell you what they are. Like, go figure it out for yourself. Just look at the symptoms I obviously suffered from, and then look at me now, and then find that anywhere else, ever, and then describe it to ChatGPT and see what it tells you. Like, see what's actually going on. Like, again, people won't look at reality. It's so irritating. Like, so I've had to go do all this work myself for decades.
Shit, why do you think everyone's so addicted to TikTok? Because they don't want to be in...
No. Because they realize that everyone around them is completely full of shit and brainwashed. So they're part of their brain that seeks truth is looking for any fragment of anything that breaks through the malaise, which is what we're doing by being on YouTube. Because eventually people are going to start clipping us and putting it on TikTok. Which, again, I want them to do that, not me. Because if I do that, I'll get popular too quickly. Then I'll become addicted to making TikTok videos instead of becoming addicted to making hour-and-a-half podcasts. The addiction's a little different in terms of the attention span one takes. No, I'm not even saying that the TikToks take less skill. It's just the fact that the thing I'm good at is thinking things through for exceptionally long periods of time. So if I don't take advantage of that, I'm going to lose to other people. So my competitive advantage is more awesome on YouTube, whereas other people's competitive advantage is more awesome on TikTok. So, but I've realized that everything
advantage is just like being able to focus on thoughts and think them through for long periods of time and hold them in your mind, which you've developed through. I mean, the insomnia has helped with that.
Oh, it definitely has. But here's the other thing. Like, my dad forced both of us to become really good at chess and both acquire over 10,000 hours of practice doing advanced mathematics before we were teenagers. So, like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's some sort of, like, collective unconscious impulse towards this.
Or just highly motivated us with layer sets.
This is what, like, I think it's ridiculous that Mom says she raised us entirely on her own. Because I'm like, Dad understands human psychology at such a high level that he created incentive structures that we didn't even realize we were fulfilling so that we never even felt forced. That's real power, is like
Yeah.
not making people feel forced. And that's what I want to create through YouTube.
It's why
Like,
they give you a high-paying salary to give up on your dreams.
exactly. That's why I'm doing this through YouTube, because I'm not trying to force society to realize any of this shit. Like, I've realized, like, it's stupid. Like, we both do jujitsu. Like, you can't really force people to do things in jujitsu. You kind of just, like, let them react, and you react around them, and you win. You know, it's like that's why the art of jujitsu is so cool. So,
Let me stand. I'm yawning too much.
yeah. That's why I like to, like, stand while I'm doing it. It makes me very animated. So, basically...
Ooh, it smells more up here.
It does. So, basically,
Ooh, look at the height difference.
yeah, it's the only thing you got on me. So basically, where was I? Oh, you can also sleep. But anyway, whatever. So,
What I was going to say earlier to your remarks.
might be why he's taller than me too. Is because like I've had this metabolic thing. But
on self-embarrassment, or what are you talking about with making videos and then people like criticizing them or thing that what was the word you use? Self-something?
self-effacing.
No, it's kind of like self-embarrassment, but it's kind of like with making videos and putting them public online. Like, yeah, there's some degree ridicule from others.
You face ridicule.
You do, but it's also kind of like at the same time, by just like the only real ridicule there is if you stop doing what you know you should be doing because of the shit other people say. Because otherwise, you're just doing it, and then they might ridicule you a little bit, but then after a while, it's like, oh yeah, that's literally just what that person.
No,
did.
you know what I'd say. I've actually pursued this a bit more than my younger brother. And I think I've seen something he might not have seen. The people who ridicule you for following your dreams don't let up when you stop following your dreams. They get worse. Like, why would they stop? They didn't care about you or want you to be happy in the first place. That's why they were ridiculing you. So when you give up on your dreams, all they know is two things. You're weak and it worked.
That's if you give up, but if you keep going,
What I'm saying is, like, you have no other option. Like, the people ridiculing you now, like...
when you keep going, a lot of people, stop ridiculing you or saying stuff about it. Or, I don't know, when you make videos and then you post them, I don't know, my wrestling team at college found my YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, a little bit of me of oh, crap. People I know, looking at my videos, I've made some, highly emotional ones, some about, past traumas, some about overcoming addictions. And it's yeah, well, now people, you have this kind of public facing image that you like to project. And one of the hardest things to admit is yeah, you're a human. And I talk about that on my channel. So when they see the videos, they're yeah. And then they watch them. And I've actually had them come up to me, some of them have actually really helped them. And they've texted me and thanked me for them. And it makes it worth it. But I mean, one of the hardest things to admit is you are human. You are flawed. You have issues, but the simple fact that you're trying to overcome them, not hiding from them, and publicly announcing them and helping others is the saving grace to having those flaws.
It's not even the saving grace. It's the fact that anyone that you admire has had to overcome the same thing. And so therefore, if you want to be admired,
because they told about those things they overcame.
Not even necessarily though, because you could just see a knight in shining armor just wasting people on the battlefield and know nothing about him but admire him. But that guy has had to overcome the same things either way. So it's it's more the fact that, and this is kind of a weird thing. This is sort of why the West, I think, developed, and this is even why I call certain things Oriental. Well, it's not why I call them Oriental. I call them Oriental because they are Oriental. But it's what I mean by that. It's there's two classes of people. There's the people who ridicule those who look ridiculous because they're afraid to look ridiculous. And then there's the people who see someone looking ridiculous and they wait, they smile, maybe they go say hi. They know what that turns into. They're maybe they even go congratulate and encourage them. They know what that turns into. They're yeah, you have to be the fool before you can become the savior. You have to look ridiculous before you don't look ridiculous. And here's a real kicker. I was reading a Japanese book on samurai and how the samurai should act, and it said that basically one chapter of the book was basically just this. It was disgusting. It was horrible to read, but it was just about how people over 60 should shut the fuck up and not speak because they're just ridiculous and they're senile, and that if someone over 60 thinks they're making a good point, they're actually not, and they're being senile, and everyone's humoring them, and they actually hate them, and they think they should just shut the fuck up.
That's horrible advice. That's how society falls apart.
No, that's how people in power stay in power, because those who are experienced enough and wise enough to call out the bullshit are too afraid to, because they've created a society that that has convinced the aged that no one will listen. Like, okay, I'll put it this way. Only the wise are humble enough to take that shit advice. And therein lies the crux of Orientalism, which does not believe in the value of personal wisdom. Whereas in the West, we believe in the value of personal wisdom. We believe that you can sound ridiculous. I mean, Donald Trump got elected after 60. Like, the Orient wants to create a society that never changes and then dies, and they don't even want to be aware that that's happening. The Chinese recently changed their language, so you can't read Chinese history if it's over 100 years old. And they're committing a genocide against the Uyghurs right now. So how about you woke neoliberals tell me how great the Orient is? Oh, wait, it's just so great because they killed everyone who said it wasn't and burned all the books, then changed the language in case some of the books survived.
Effective.
At what?
Keeping the people in power.
And nothing else. So they can all die from insomnia, congratulating themselves that their pedophilia succeeded. They'll never know the insomnia was coming because they'll become addicted to drugs long before they realize the primary cause of their behavioral problems is the progressive loss of the ability to sleep, like 99.9% of the people in our culture, except for me, because of my insistence on not becoming addicted to drugs, which was dismissed by everyone, because if you tell someone you can't sleep, they put you in the category of drug addict because they're assholes who don't care about you, regardless of if you're even using drugs.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I went cold turkey on caffeine from 900 milligrams a day to none junior year of college. And I basically, like, that completely fucked my sleep system up. And I started, like, napping for 4 hours and being awake for 6 and just randomly cycling throughout the day. And then eventually I was no longer able to tell the difference between a dream and reality because my dreams were also very mundane and, like, daily tasks. So I was kind of losing my mind. I go to the doctor and I'm like, I am literally losing my mind. I need help. And they're like, what drugs do you take? I'm like, no, I quit all the drugs. Like, I don't take caffeine anymore. That's why I'm having these issues. And they're looking at me and they keep asking me, like, what drugs do you take in different words? I'm like, no, I don't take any. That's why I'm having these issues. So eventually I was able to get my sleep back on. But, like, the issue was my circadian rhythm got super effed up because there's, like, a 2 or 3 week period where I was just awake for 6 hours.
Did I help you your circadian rhythm on, or did you do that on your own?
You helped a little bit. You told me to massively increase my salt consumption, so I would eat very salty pork rinds, and that did help. I also went on SSRIs for like 5 days, and that was enough to kind of make me stay in bed sleep long enough that I was able to help regulate my rhythm, and then I got off of them. But, like, holy shit, those things fuck with your head. Like, you feel, even, like, 4 or 5 days on them, like, you feel different. And I was taking half the dose the doctor recommended I take because I was so worried about what they would do to me. Because the sleepiness is only a side effect that they, like, have.
So, yeah, I mean, the real thing I'd like to point out to people is that I have a scientific revolution documented on my YouTube channel. And, I mean, I think this is really the revolution. I think this is really the revolution of the Mycenaeans. Like, I think that this is the West itself coming back. I think that, when I say ideological revolutions precede scientific revolutions, precede actual revolutions. And I read the Odyssey when I was in 4th grade. I was 8 years old. I read the Odyssey. And if I hadn't read the Odyssey, I wouldn't have survived. I needed to be Odysseus to survive what I survived. And so I became Odysseus. And Odysseus created a scientific revolution. And then Odysseus created an actual revolution. And then Christopher Nolan, the very same director who made the Batman movies that got me to start doing push-ups, which probably gave me the fitness and self-belief I needed. Really just the fitness, because when my metabolism drops, I start dying, to overcome this. So Christopher Nolan, that same director who helped me so much with Batman, you know, if there was a director who's my director, I'd say it's Christopher Nolan. He's had the most influence on me. Now, this director has had the most influence on me of any other director. With Inception, too, an idea. That's what I'm doing. I'm planting an idea in the culture, and this idea will have its say. The idea was already planted in the culture, and I am its flower. The flower has already come, and you watch its fruit. The fruit tastes sweet, doesn't it? And many will crave its delicious nectar. So now this same director is making the Odyssey into a movie, and I cannot help but feel that he is making the Odyssey into a movie for the same reason that I have emanated from the collective unconscious to tell you about the patterns of history. Because it's coming back, baby. I mean, I can start getting into historical analysis right now. If you like this, watch How to Become American Napoleon on my channel and How to Take Over the World. Because I go through this in detail, and I feel like announcing it on the podcast. So, I feel like my brother is not going to have any questions for me because his mind still inhabits two modes of being slightly more than my own, which is the questioning mind and then the video producing mind. I try to turn them, I have turned them into the same mind, which is why I'll think of things on videos that I didn't think of anywhere else. But I'm just sharing this because, again, I'm thinking of this on the video. I don't think he'll have, but he might, because I'm saying this. I don't think he'll have very many good questions for me, because I think that now he's going to be like, he's just thinking about why it's going to work instead of why it's not going to work. Whereas typically he'll call me at 10 o'clock at night and be like, this isn't going to work for this reason. And I'm like, no, it'll totally work. And I go through it. So I wonder, can you bring 10 o'clock at night questioning Jason to now and dismantle this idea for everyone on camera so they can watch your best ideas? I watch the dialogue.
I want the talking stick.
You want the talking stick? It's a great talking stick.
Well, you think a lot more about people wanting to kill us than I do. I kind of just assume that I look at what we're trying to do, where it's going. I'm like, the benefit that it will bring to the world when it comes out in fruition. Like, it's not just a supplement company. Like, the supplement company is like, you need a way to monetize.
Wait, let me take it back. I want to add this because this is really good. So I think they're going to kill us simply because when we come into the industry and start making tons of money, they're going to try to copy us. And when they see that we've created a system that can't really be copied, basically, they're either going to run us out of business or fail to run us out of business. If they can't run us out of business, they're going to be like, okay, why can't we run these people out of business?
And
then they're going to see.
Try to kill us. Well, I don't know why they try to kill us, but before that even happened, they try to buy it. I mean, there's a long history of people trying, like, companies buying patents and then shelving them to stop innovation from happening and continue with their mediocre way of doing stuff because of how profitable it is. So
it also isn't a talking stick. You could talk it.
No.
Okay.
So you can talk about the stick.
Okay. That's a hiking stick.
I mean, I think I don't necessarily think about people trying to kill us.
They killed Charlie Kirk. I mean, I started thinking about that. I was thinking about that beforehand, but well, it's like, okay, this is the thing. Like, I think about people trying to kill us because, okay, so this is why I think about people trying to kill us. Because I've seen the medical system's ugly face, and the medical system is supposed to be the most educated, intelligent, compassionate people who are oriented around helping people. And when I told my doctor,
is that why
is
that why the medical system gave syphilis to 60,000 people?
That was the U.S. government. That wasn't even.
But it's still implanted by people in the medical system. I mean,
yeah, exactly. But people don't learn or pay attention, so that's why they don't know.
Some people in the medical system.
It might as well not have happened, as far as they're concerned.
Some people in the medical system are just sociopaths in like the degree of power that.
It's not even. No, that's not why I think people are going to kill me. That's not why. It's because of the non-sociopaths. It's because of the people I know are genuinely empathetic and caring. One was a doctor I had growing up from like birth. Another was a doctor who was my high school wrestling coach. Both people I like loved and trusted, and I'm like, these are great people. They're like totally great people. And when I saw them, like, when I told them what I was experiencing in terms of the total loss of the ability to sleep and what I was doing to try to stay alive, the look they gave me was a look of like, it would be better if you simply died. And that look contained compassion, which scared the fuck out of me, because I'm like, whatever they're teaching these people in medical school makes them believe that people like me dying is better. Like, that's the look on their face. You know, I looked at a lot of faces, and I'm pretty good at judging a look.
Yeah, but I think it's death through apathy, not necessarily, like, assassination type shit.
No, I just think that if that look is capable of passing on the faces of those men, then someone's going to try to kill me.
It's like you see a sick animal.
That's it.
No, it's like you see a sick animal and you're like, would it be more compassionate for me just to kill it because it's suffering?
Okay, but if like my high school wrestling coach who's seen me beat people who are supposed to be unbeatable feels that about me, then is it not also the case necessarily that there must also be a psychopath within the medical system who would use that line of reasoning to justify murdering me? Because he thought there was the slightest chance that it could hurt his profits in the long run if I had my say. And this is what I'm saying with the collective unconscious. I'm saying that if I see this here, I know this must be here. If you see me here on YouTube, you know what else exists? Lots of other people who are dying from insomnia, who are really pissed off that no one's helping them. I'm just the only one doing something about it. Go find them. They exist. I've talked to them. I talk to them every day. Like, here's the thing. You would say to yourself, if you saw those people, wow, if there's so many people like this, there must be someone out there who fixed it and is doing something about it. Like, there must be the antithesis. Or that would mean something. Like, if the antithesis to that did not exist, if I did not exist, that would mean our culture was incapable of producing people who could overcome what they're dealing with. So the fact that it isn't means that I'm here, which is why I'm here. And this is, again, why I'm like, they're going to try to kill me. Because if my doctors, who actually I believe love me, had that look go across their face for even half a second, there exists out there an individual who's going to try to kill me. Because that's what I saw in their face. I saw in their face, it would be better if you were dead.
Well, I mean, that is the whole philosophy behind eugenics.
So then I want to add one more thing to this. Actually, no, I forgot.
I think
so
putting it out there and making it so vocal is like putting it into the mind of people, and for that person out there who is a sociopath, like, oh, I could try to kill him. Like, I think putting it out there encourages it to happen.
Yes. So then they either fail, in which case that validates my ideas, and I get to beat the absolute shit out of someone and murder him, because I'm going to totally... If you try to kill me, I'm going to kill you, and it's going to be fun, because, I don't know. I've never killed someone before. Maybe you'll be my first. So basically, yeah, if someone does that, then you take all my ideas and all my videos, and you run with it, and you actually take over the fucking world. Like, if the world is such that me simply trying to help people on the internet gets me killed, take over the world for me, brother.
Yeah, but...
Make them pay, you know? Like, teach them the error of their ways.
I can guarantee the making them pay, but the taking over the world is going to be more difficult without you. It's going to be a lot more difficult without you.
It would be, unless we had...
Don't martyr yourself.
I'm not going to martyr myself. But I'm saying it would be a lot more difficult if we didn't have an audience of people who are already trained on these ideas, which we do. They're watching my videos and have a whole backlog of videos calling this out, because you could basically make that documentary that you thought would get 10 million views and be like, look what fucking happened. And then people are going to be like, that's so insane. I'm going to like look into it. You know what I'm saying? Like that sort of, and if that doesn't work, like if none of this works, then I guess there's no like hope in the human race. But here's the thing. Here's the real kicker. I think that this same reasoning.
I mean, they didn't assassinate Ford.
No, they didn't assassinate Ford. But I think that this same reasoning. No, I don't necessarily. I think it's just they didn't fiat currency.
I think putting it out there as public as you are and talking about it as much kind of puts the idea of like, oh, well, even this guy says that we should try to assassinate him.
They only talk about it in longer videos, though, for the most part.
I mean, I just
they assassinated Charlie Kirk, though. The idea is in the this is what I think is happening. What I think is that the people in power knew that they could shut up smart people like my brother and I by killing Charlie Kirk, because now his subconscious mind is afraid of being murdered for speaking the truth. And you come up with a whole bunch of reasons why it's like, oh, you're putting the idea in other people's heads, you're the one bringing it on. But I would say that's all Orientalism. I would say that that's the sort of thinking that gives you the Orient, and that the sort of thinking that gives you the West is the sort of thinking of, come try me, bitch. Go ahead, make my day. I've been dying from nothing for my whole fucking life, so whether you kill me or I kill you, it'll be a pleasure. It'll be a fucking pleasure.
Well, that reminds me of a poem I wrote. I was going to do that.
We can end it on the poem.
Yeah, we'll end it on the poem. So, this poem came about because I was trying to... I need a stick.
I'll give you another stick.
The opening line
I'll give you another stick. No, because if I give you the stick, then the symbolism of the video is that I'm passing authority from me to you.
Yeah, so go get
which I'm not, because I'm not going to die.
Go get another
you
stick.
can have your own stick. We're both having authority. I'm not passing a fucking way.
Okay, this poem, I wrote it to try to capture this feeling I felt on a walk. And I live in an old town, colonial town, and we have this one site in our town where there was an Indian raid and they massacred a family. And the graveyard is right there. And I was walking by it, this fog nearby. It's scary as shit. So I wrote this poem to try to capture the feeling that I felt there. And it was, staff in hand, move my guide through the woods where shadows lie. A chilling stiffness fills the air. A shadow stalks, I know you're there. Your eyes I sense, piercing me, and every glimmer I think I see. No more hiding, no more dread, if you're in my mind or woods instead. Steady my breath, my grip is tight, fear becomes fuel to fight. Strike the ground, my courage rings, through the woods my voice will sing. Come out, let's end this game. You'll wear my mark, you'll know my name. Step from the dark, don't make me wait. I've made my peace, accept my fate. I'll turn this stick into a spear and face the weight of every fear. Let's dance this dance where courage lies. The weak will fall, the strong survive. And if you're real, then step to me. I'll carve my place of victory. And if I fall, then let me rest, as one who gave the night his best. The night is cold, the air is still. In my veins, a fire bold. Come out, meet your end. I'm collecting trophies, my shattered friend.
I like that. It's a good place to end this.